Welcome to the 𝗙𝗀𝗿 𝗙𝗀 channel. I'm your host, Melissa O'Connor. Thank you for joining me today. Today I wanted to discuss with you a common theme that can pop up in my office when I talk to people about Medicaid planning. Many times people will come wanting to discuss the concept of Medicaid planning, and as we have the dialogue, what comes up is a moral or ethical dilemma. Either someone in their family member or they themselves have expressed concerns about applying for Medicaid when the Medicaid is a form of public assistance that is available to people based on having low income. And so their concern is, should I be planning and intentionally moving my assets to qualify for something that is really reserved for people that have less than me? Is that some sort of moral problem? Is it a form of theft, or is it just not right to do that? Should I just wait until I'm actually broke and have spent down and truly qualify without having any other monies in pocket? Or is this this is a personal ethical dilemma that it comes up, and we talk about it. And while I don't have any specific answers for individuals, everybody has to make their own determination what they think is morally and ethically appropriate. But what I can do is talk about facts. And the fact is that if you have certain assets named and titled in different ways, sometimes Medicaid will count that asset and say, this is something that we will count against you, and therefore you cannot qualify. However, another person could have essentially the same amount of assets as you, but just are holding those assets in a different manner, and then those are considered non-counted or excluded exempt assets, and therefore that person would qualify for Medicaid. And Medicaid doesn't, with Medicaid planning, if you shift your assets and take them from a form of ownership that was countable just based on Medicaid's criteria, they just came up with a chart. They said this counts, this doesn't count. They may have a rhyme or reason as to why they say certain things count or certain things don't count, but essentially that could change. Policies change, and should it change, then the way that people qualify change. But there's no right or wrong per se that says that one person should hold an asset in a certain form of ownership, or you can't use your assets in a certain way to benefit you, and which would also help you qualify for Medicaid. So we just have that dialogue as to what's a countable asset and what's not a countable asset, and what type of assets they hold, and what a plan to qualify for Medicaid would look like. Another thing that we talk about when we have these ethical dilemmas is the fact that they can completely not plan to apply for Medicaid and spend down all their monies and visualize what their life would look like should they not have shifted assets and planned for Medicaid. Some of their legacy goals would be impacted, so that means that they would have worked their entire lives for certain monies and then not been able to leave things to loved ones or provide for loved ones, or have their assets sheltered in a manner that their family now is able to help provide a better quality of life. We also discuss what their diagnosis is, because many times when we are doing Medicaid planning, the prospective applicant knows that they're facing a future with certain health needs. and what the cost of those health needs are, and whether they indeed are a person for which Medicaid has been established to provide for. How many years would it take for them to private pay and that their entire life savings be gone? Sometimes it wouldn't even be 18 months. But if we could protect some of those assets, what would their quality of life look like afterwards? And what would their legacy look like? These are all conversations that we have. There's no, at the end of the day, I or any other elder law attorney can't make any sort of judgment call for our clients. They have to make their own decisions whether they think this is an appropriate move for them or not an appropriate move for them. But I just wanted to take the opportunity to share with you how I address ethical and moral concerns when it comes to Medicaid planning, and how we just have open conversations and really drill down to the why. Why do you have that concern? And let's look at the future, and let's look at what the purpose of Medicaid is and determine whether or not you actually do fit what that person believes is the intent of Medicaid. They may or they may not. They may find that they don't, or they may realize, actually, I think I do. And another thing that we talk about is that we as taxpayers have paid into this program. So all the years that they've worked diligently at their job and in their career and in their profession, and they've contributed to these programs, that now they are available to them because they may, if they believe they are, in a time of need. That is exactly what the program was set for. So we have those conversations, and I really enjoy those conversations because I get to know my clients and how they think and how they feel. And ideally, when we leave, whether we've decided to pursue Medicaid planning or not, at least the client is comfortable with their decision and feels good about it. And so I always find that to be a big win for me, because as an elder law attorney, really a lot of my role is counseling and helping people discover and do what's best for them and their family and their legacy. So I hope that this brief conversation about planning for Medicaid and addressing ethical and moral concerns has been helpful to you. If it has, I ask that you like and share with those others in your community. Thank you.